Good morning and welcome to the Core Connection. I'm Mira Rubin here with you on Enlightened World Network. And today's topic is dancing, dancing with life rather than resisting or fighting, learning to um, maybe even be led by life's promptings. So it should be a fun conversation. Before we get started, though, let's take a minute to get present. So let's start out by taking a deep breath in through your nose and hold it. And imagine clean, crisp oxygen flooding your lungs, flowing into your bloodstream, nourishing all your cells, all your organs, bringing vital life energy to your body and being. And as you exhale, exhale any tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's take another deep breath in through your nose and hold it. This time, imagine brilliant, bright light lighting you up from the inside out, illuminating, electrifying, and energizing all your cells, your molecules, your electrons, creating a brilliant beam of light and energy from your heart out into the world. And as you exhale, exhale any remaining tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's press our palms together and vigorously rub our hands together to feel the friction, the temperature, the motion, the pressure, and the tickling and tingling when you stop, and allow all those sensations to bring you present right here, right now, into this remarkable physical form that enables you to experience life. Welcome, welcome, welcome on this Friday. Good morning, Carolyn. Wonderful to have you here with us this morning, and welcome to everybody else who's joining us. And today our topic is dancing. And so often we struggle. We've been talking about struggle a bit this week, and so often we struggle and suffer as we resist the unfolding of life, right? As we resist circumstances that we don't like, or we essentially try to paddle against the tide of the waters, and or against the current. And I guess what I want to talk about with you today is the grace of dancing, of being able to be responsive when you're dancing with a partner, especially a partner who knows how to lead. Good morning, Rosalind. Welcome. So good to have you here with us this morning. We're talking about dancing. When you dance with a partner who knows how to lead, there's just this magical flow and harmony and grace that can emerge. Even when you don't necessarily know how to dance, if you can follow the lead, then the dancing becomes something quite magical and harmonious. And when we take life's lead and move with it, allow the harmony of it or the rhythm of it to move our feet and to shape our direction, then there's so much more grace that occurs in the dance. Grace in terms of synchronicities as well, grace in terms of the magical unfolding of wonderful circumstances, and the idiosyncratic sort of coincidences. And I don't believe in coincidences actually, but these wonderful wonderful happenings that converge when we dance with life rather than trying to swim upriver. And I remember years ago at that time, I think it was the EST training. It's evolved into landmark education and the forum. But one saying that has stuck with me all these years is, it's easier to ride the horse in the direction it's going. And although I'm not trained in it, it also makes me think of Aikido martial arts, where you're using the energy of the opponent to change their I I want to say against them, but what's happening is that, their movement, you're using their movement and transmuting it, as far as my understanding, and that could be really limited. So forgive me if I've misrepresented, but the point is the same, and that is that when we dance with life, there's a grace that unfolds that is incredibly generous in gifting us direction, and also a deeper alignment and fulfillment. So when we listen to the urges in our deepest heart of hearts, when we listen to the whispers of nature and her calls to us, then there's a new sense of clarity and purpose and direction that can emerge when we clear away the noise of all of our shoulds and have tos and can't and never and always. And when we start listening beyond those fixed markings along the road, then a whole new vista can open up to us, or whole new vistas can open up to us, so that we are able to recognize opportunities that we would never ever have even been able to perceive previously. So in allowing ourselves the unfoldment, it does mean finding a way to be in a space of positive expectation rather than a space of knowing. Because in order to dance, we need to be in the moment. We need to be responsive to the moment, and not necessarily be so tied to our will and our illusion of knowing, that we miss all kinds of signals that are there and available to us, because our experience of life is dictated by our filters. So if I am setting a goal, what I'm going to do is filter out the things that are not specific to that goal. I won't perceive them, perhaps. And there could be, let's say we're running a race from here to there. And along the way, there are people who are so focused on there that there are people along the way that are saying, stop, stop, don't go that way, or go this way. There's a better route this way. We're so focused on the there that we don't hear or even perceive those warning signs or those redirections or those opportunities along the way that might lead us to greater fulfillment. And it's funny because as I'm saying that, what comes up is that a lot of us experience FOMO, fear of missing out. We want to be able to take advantage of every shiny thing. And one thing looks more appealing than the next, and we want it all. And that's when we get to listen even more closely, because when we do, it's not that we're filtering those things out. It's that there's a natural inclination toward the things that are most deeply in alignment for us. So I think that there's a distinction between willful filtering and deliberate listening and attention. And when we're present to that listening, that's the dance. That's really the dance, is feeling the rhythms, presencing yourselves to those gentle rhythms. And then sometimes they're not so gentle. But when we're present to the rhythms, then we're moved by them. And I think that this metaphor of dancing has a deep appropriateness to it. That let's put on our dancing shoes, let's dance. And there's an engagement, a collaboration, a give and take, a receptivity, and an unbridled expression, hopefully. And there may be specified steps. It's funny when you watch people dancing, they may be doing the same dance, they may be doing the same steps, but they have their own flair. They have their own rhythm. And the people that are really into it, you can see that they are tuned in and they are in alignment, and they're expressing themselves in the context of those steps. Where I'm just thinking, even in line dancing, how some people are kind of very mechanical doing the steps, and other people, they're just in the flow of that rhythm and that structure even, and utilizing the constraints of that structure as a vehicle for their deeper expression. And so this is also what it means to dance with life, is that we all have constraints, we all have boundaries that define, well, that constrain us in some way or another. And within those constraints, I just read this wonderful line last night, and it is very much this concept of within the constraint lies infinity. And it's when we have, like, you have a blank page in front of you. The page has dimension, and until you put a mark on that page, there's infinite possibility. And then if you have certain rules within which you're going to put marks on that page, there's also an infinity of ways to express. And I like the metaphor of dance because it's embodied, because it's a bodily expression that brings us into a layer of awareness and consciousness that is beyond the rational. Ideally, when we're really in the flow of that dance, it takes us beyond the rational into a more foundational, maybe even primal intelligence that that has a deeper connection. This is obviously in its idealized sense. We're not just going through the motions, we're like really dancing. And to really dance with life is to be in that space of connected surrender. I hate the word surrender. I don't hate it. I just don't love the word surrender, but that connected space of maybe transcending ourselves, into a more connected, maybe more collective space that is less a function of our thought and the limitation of that, and more a function of our being and being expressed. And so what does it look like for you to dance with life? There's a delight in that when you really allow yourself to give yourself to the dance. That's a better way of saying, a better word for me than surrender, to give yourself to the dance, the alignment, the movement, the rhythm. Whether you're dancing with a partner or dancing with the music. And so what if we were to partner with life and learn to dance together? As humans, we exert our will. That's what we are indoctrinated to do, is to exert our will and not necessarily be in communion and in relationship, in connection. And when we're dancing, really dancing, there's this connection that is greater than the sum of the parts. And so when we partner with life, then what's available is so much more than what we can will in our world. And we can be a contribution then to life and to nature and to Mama Gaia. And so, yeah, I'm wondering, what's your favorite kind of dance? Do you like free-form dance? To what kind of music, right? Do you like free-form dance? Do you like formal ballroom dancing? Do you like line dancing? Do you like country dancing? What kind of dance is most expressive of you and your being? And when you dance, do you give yourself the opportunity to experience the freedom of it, the unbridled expression, the authenticity of it? Or are you concerned by how you look? I guess what I'm talking about here is the kind of dancing that you can do with nobody watching, and maybe a partner, but that you can do unencumbered by the judgment of others' eyes, just the authentic dancing. There's such a gift to it. There's such a vital energy of life to it. And so what circumstance can you think of right now in your life where you've been struggling and maybe in opposition to life? What would it take to, instead of that opposition, to dance? And how might you be able to do that in a way that grants you some ease and some harmony and finding the rhythm? What might be the undertones of the music that you can connect to? What might be the messages of the moment that were not so readily apparent? What kind of steps can you take that can be very simple, very quiet, and also very affirming? Rosalind says, deep house techno, jumping up and down when the rhythm builds up. I'm embracing changes in my body. I love it. So jumping up and down, I mean, like, what kind of amazing vitality, of the life energy pumping and joyful and bounding and or unbounded. Why not? There's like the celebration of life. Thank you for sharing that, Rosalind. Because there's all kinds of dance. There's sacred dance, ecstatic dance. There's techno dance. There's line dancing. There's all different ways to dance with life. And different dances for different moments, right? There's sacred dance, there's tribal dance, there's frenzied dance, but all of it is in relationship. It's all in relationship to the music, relationship to your body, to the rhythms. So moving into this weekend, the invitation is to dance. Maybe you want to crank up some music to do that. Maybe you want to dance to your own rhythm. Maybe you just want to listen to nature and allow your heart to dance, and maybe move your body along with that. And I think the key to good dancing, Rosalind says, dancing with the stars. I love it. I love the double entendre. I think that the key to the flow of dancing is a deep listening to the music that goes beyond one's ears into one's cells, into the body, and allows us to give the body its voice. And that's really what I'm talking about as far as dancing with life, is giving life its voice to move through us in a sacred dance of life, and to find ourselves in the flow of it. rather than in opposition to it. And so put on your dancing shoes and let's dance. And so with that, I'm going to call it a morning. I'm Mira Rubin. This is the Core Connection, and I go live here each weekday morning on the Enlightened World Network Facebook page and YouTube channel. And oh, I love it, Rosalind. Rosalind says, thank you for being a DJ, playing a different tune every day. Thank you, Rosalind. Thank you so much for that. And thank you all for engaging in these conversations and these musings and these twists of heart and mind. It is such a pleasure to be able to be engaged in these inquiries and musings together, and I'm so grateful to you for it. So I invite you to check out the other awesome programming on Enlightened World Network and Enlightened World Living Facebook pages. And until next time, so much love to you.